We're Bison! We are Impacted! We're Bison! We're ready to get up! We want to win! Light the fire of power that make us free! We never break down! We want to win! We are Impacted! The best team!
Hello and welcome back to TNI-UK Impacted, coming to you live via the Total Non-Stop Impact Network on YouTube and of course Twitch. I am your host Bison, and today I am joined by the one and only Simply Steve, and coming to us straight from the void, the Joker. Hi guys, how are we doing?
We're cold. How are you?
It's definitely dropped in temperature, isn't it? It definitely dropped in temperature, I must admit. I got into the bedroom last night and I said to wife Bison, I said, geez, girl, it's definitely time we started thinking about putting the heating on, because it's definitely a bit chilly. Can I just say to all of our listeners, all of our friends in the chat, can you they are in the Florida area, stay safe, guys. I know that Hurricane Ian is pretty much there, so stay safe and stay tuned in with us, and we'll keep you. We'll hopefully keep you smiling all the way through. Well, not all the way through, but certainly for probably the next hour and a half or so. Yeah, we'll do the best we can. Yeah, we will. Now, guys. This week is going to be very, very interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just quickly say hello to a few people in the chat. So we've got Bonkers in, we've got Courtney in the house, nice and early this week. We've got Mir. If I'm right in thinking, I think I saw Terrence pop in first. So great to see you, Terrence. First this week, Donald Hill's in the house. Who else have we got? Who else can I see? Anna's with us, nice and early. Violet, nice to see you, sweetheart. So we've got a few people already joining us. So how cool is that? Fantastic. Hopefully we can keep you very, very entertained. But listen, guys, there's one thing I just wanted to sort of make sure that I do, and that is just give you a little word. We need just basically a quick word from the TNI sponsor.
I'm here to tell you people about Manscaped. See, when you're a card-carrying member of the Peanut Club, presentation is everything. In my opinion, with a clean shave, you can turn that cocktail frank into bun length. That's right, folks. Kiss your Vienna sausage goodbye and upgrade your grooming habits with Manscaped. And guess what, folks? We got a special deal for the TNI fam. Get 20% off and free shipping when you use our promo code TNI at manscaped.com. That's right, folks. 20% off and free shipping when you use our promo code TNI at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
Well, guys, all you guys, be kind to your balls. Yeah, get yourself Manscaped up, guys. Obviously, get that fantastic TNI discount. Kyle really is. Oh my god, I absolutely love Kyle. I really do. He was the one. Do you know what? Kyle was actually the guy that got me into this shit. So all good to Kyle. I love Kyle. Scumbag me up, I say. Anyway,
BAM!
definitely. Okay, guys, let's get slap bang into those news.
BAM!
And of course, the Impact recap. Bam!
Touch you could thing on the bloody. I need to get a mouse for this laptop, really.
Here he is. Joe's getting a bit excited there. He's getting a little bit trigger happy with the old soundbite. He's good. He's doing good. We like soundbites, so get him in there. Anyway, let's get slap bang into the rumors and recap of the week, and then we can sort of move into what the main crux of today, which is obviously the review of Victory Road. Thank you, Punk Tracer. Appreciate that super sticker there. We really do. So we've got Delirious is working as a producer at recent set of tapings after Victory Road. Of course, we saw Delirious in that match, which we'll talk about later. It's fantastic. We've also got a match scheduled for him this coming Thursday as well. But I think, a backstage presence is, we talked about this last week. I think this is a good move. Do you think we're going to see Delirious as a backstage producer moving forward, or do you think this was just a one-off because he was there?
I think it was a one-off for now to see how things go, to test the waters, and I would not be surprised to see him back at Bound for Glory and those set of tapings. But, just again to see how things go. And then, fingers crossed we do get a head like that in there, because, he's, as commentary said during the match, he's an experienced head. He knows how matches work. And you saw in the later areas of Ring of Honor, how good that started to get. So you do feel like he's a lot that can add something to the table.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's got a lot to offer certainly in a production, in a producer role, talent relations maybe. I mean, there's certainly a few areas that this guy's got a hell of a lot of experience in, and you can't be in the business 25, 30 years without picking up a thing or two. I mean, what are your thoughts on this, Joe? Are you down with Delirious?
Oh, the match was amazing, and I think the talent and the experience he brings, is just unquestionable. I see some commentary hits on it perfectly. I think it is a temporary thing for now. I think we might see him up to Bound for Glory, but I think he's doing some stuff with AEW as well at the moment as well. So he's like toing and froing between companies to find which one works best for him. So hopefully, if he will come to Impact Wrestling, but if he can work out something with both of them, that would be good too. Maybe even try and get some order restored elsewhere. But him backstage with Tommy Dreamer and Jimmy Jacobs, Cody Deaner, Gail Kim, it would be amazing.
Yeah, I think one thing's for sure. Regardless of what anybody thinks, I think one thing Impact do well is produce their matches. So they seem to have the right people in the right places in the right role when it comes to that side of things.
Definitely.
Even someone like a Chris Sabin backstage is obviously involved in that side of things as well. And I think they use their experienced guys really, really well when it comes to stuff like this. And Cody is very good at what he does as well. You've got an EY back there. I'm pretty sure he's gonna have a thing or two to say to some of these guys as well. Some of the younger talents that are going out there doing their thing. So there is a decent amount of experience back there. I mean, I don't know if Rhino's been backstage at all. I mean, I know he's injured, but it doesn't mean to say that he's not been backstage helping out in other roles. You just don't know, do you? Because you were not there. But that would be quite cool as well. But yeah, no, I think it's a good thing. I think bringing in more experience, backstage is always a good thing. And at the end of the day, we see in the matches how good the wrestling is. Like I say, no drama, just great wrestling. If you love your wrestling, Impact is the show for you. So like I said, always a good thing. Now, the other thing which was also mentioned on the show is that the Impact talents are selling their memorabilia on eBay, with all the proceeds going to Joe Doring on his fight with cancer. I think we've got some information that can be put up there across the bottom. We've only got a couple of hours left on it, guys. So we need to make sure that if we're up for some fantastic memorabilia, I think we've got some stuff up there from Mia Yim. Steve Maclin's got some stuff up there. Eddie Edwards has got some stuff up there. I think there's some great stuff from Lance Storm, including some signed gear. There's loads of stuff. So if you're into your memorabilia, get your backside onto eBay, on the Impact eBay site. Get your bids in. Like I said, we haven't got long. We've just literally put in the link into the chat. If you're up for it, get yourself over there, see what you can grab. Every penny helps Joe in his fight. So, we can't help in any other way. So let's try and do it that way, guys. Yeah. And of course, we've still got the shirt available as well. which is available on shopimpact.com. So make sure you get over and buy that shirt. If you don't want to spend your money on memorabilia, then at least buy the shirt. But come on, let's support Big Joe in his fight, and hopefully we'll see him back in the ring very, very soon, having kicked the ass out of cancer once again.
Yeah.
Right. Something else that we've noticed, okay, recently, or I've certainly noticed as well, is that the marketing improvements are definitely happening. So I've seen people posting pictures of Impact on billboards in Nashville, in and around the area that they're in. I started to see, now this is one thing I've been moaning about, like, for a long time, right? A long time I've been going on about this. They're starting to put adverts on YouTube. Okay,
Good job, Scott. Good job.
So I was watching. I think I was watching Lewis Carlin. I do like Lewis. He's such a nice guy. Yeah. So I was watching Lewis, listening to what he had to say, and just as I clicked on the show, what pops up? An advert for Bound for Glory. You know,
finally,
finally, we're starting to get adverts from Impact Wrestling about their big pay-per-views, at least. Fantastic job. Is this turned up from this new guy that's now part of the marketing team, or or have they just been listening to the shows, or people like us? I don't know, but I'm happy to see billboard advertising in the areas that they're going to, and I'm so happy to see advertising on YouTube, just like all the other wrestling promotions
sending
doing
your
the same
wishes
thing.
out. Yeah.
What's this?
Sending all your wishes. Glad to see you back, but yeah, sending all prayers and everything over to you, man.
Oh, Aaron, yeah, appreciate that, definitely. Sending you all of our love, my friend. Send you all of our love. At the end of the day, guys, if we can take you away from any of your troubles as well that you've got going on in your lives, even if it's just for an hour and a half, then we're happy to do that, and we can give you a virtual hug. How about that? And it looks like Violet's offering out hugs today. Where's mine as well? I could do with one of those. But all the best, Aaron. All the best, my friend. Okay, so what are your thoughts on the current situation with regards to marketing, then?
It's good to see improvements. It's good to see things are going in the direction fans have been asking for, and it's good to see people are actually noticing it too. Because it could be just happening and people not taking any notice of it, and then people were saying, "Oh, you're still not advertising." So it's good to see that people are seeing the changes happening.
I think so. I think at the end of the day, people are now posting, "Oh, look what I've just seen," or a massive billboard advert for Victory Road in Nashville. It was huge. But again, these are the things that we need, guys. If they don't know you're there, they're not going to buy the tickets. So it's that's the important thing, and the fact that they're now advertising BFG. Bound for Glory. Now they're advertising Bound for Glory on YouTube as well. Absolutely superb. Don't get me wrong. I don't watch loads and loads of wrestling podcasts or news outlets on YouTube, but the couple that I've seen recently that aren't necessarily Impact Wrestling themselves, we're starting to get BFG adverts. In fact, I think I clicked on ours from a couple of weeks ago, and it popped up there as well. So, great to see. Absolutely good to see. And long may that continue, because I think that is going to make a ginormous difference to the buy rates for the pay-per-views, and, of course, getting those bums on seats.
Definitely. Which
is all important. We need to get, bigger venues, more bums on seats. Now, the rumours that several new talents, like one particular one called Athena, which I believe is called Amber Moon Athena, are coming into Impact, and current talents are actually re-signing with the company at the last set of tapings. Now, these are the rumors that are out there. I'm not saying this is fact, that as Amir likes to say, the rumor mill or the rumor station or whatever it is, but. At the end of the day, those are nice rumors to be hearing. I really hope that what I've heard with regards to talent re-signing is true, and it'd be great to see someone like Athena turn up at Bound for Glory, wouldn't it?
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah, been calling for Ember Moon for years. I think even before she went to the WWE. She was someone who, calling to come into the Knockouts division because, she just had that big kind of look that could really dominate the division. Obviously the Knockouts division has a lot of dominating figures in there now, so it's going to be interesting to see her come in and look like that big dominating figure that she has elsewhere.
Yeah, definitely. What about you, Joe? I mean, what do you think on someone like Athena joining the Impact Knockouts?
I think the smell says it all. I'm if this is true, I'm really looking forward to seeing her back. I know she did a couple of one-off appearances, and like Steve said, we were calling for her to come in then. I was gutted when I found that she went to WWE for whatever reason she's been let go, and hopefully she'll come to Impact Wrestling and make it home.
Exactly. I mean, let's face it. A lot of the talents that were cut certainly thrived in Impact Wrestling. I mean, look at Deanna Purrazzo. She's doing really well. Chelsea's obviously doing really well since she's come back. We've got Mia Yim now. Certainly from a Knockouts perspective. Steve Maclin. I mean, look at Steve Maclin. My God. He's absolutely beasting it right now, but we'll get to him in a second. But another former WWE talent, stroke AEW talent, Bobby Fish turns up at Victory Road. Clearly super over with the majority of the crowd in attendance. And of course said to have filmed several promos backstage the following day. Now, he didn't wrestle from what we can gather, but he definitely was, it's definitely been said that he did a few things backstage. So I would assume that whatever he's done backstage is sort of kind of leading to a potential match at Bound for Glory, which I think would be fantastic. I don't know. I don't know a massive about Bobby Fish, to be honest, to make any major comment. But what I do know is that, when he came in, the crowd went wild.
I didn't have a clue who he was, to be honest, until I got the reference he was making about CM Punk and AEW. Yeah. That had me laughing, and I knew there was a lot of heat behind him. The name was familiar, but I have no idea who the hell he is.
He was in the Undisputed era in NXT, I believe, was it Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick
That's
Strong?
Right. Yeah, that's right.
But yeah,
he was classed as being the weakest of the four, I believe.
I mean, I'm not one to judge because I don't think I've seen enough of all four of them together to say who was the good one, who was the okay. I couldn't judge, but I think it was a pop because no one expected it. Yeah, this was bottom of everyone's list on what could happen, really. But it was a great segment. It was a hell of a promo. I will say, as great as the promo was, I don't think I want to hear that type of promo every week from him. I'd like to hear him change it up, but he's the things he said was basically, there's a locker room back there that I want to be part of.
Yeah, basically, yeah, which I really liked. I like that type of stuff. I mean, we can talk a little bit more on what he had to say and how it all went down in Victory Road in a little bit later. But I think it caused a bit of buzz, whether it be negative or positive. There was certainly a bit of buzz about Victory Road and his appearance, which was a complete surprise. So, if it creates buzz, whether it be good or bad, that's all it matters, right?
Yeah.
So that happened, and that's the main thing. What they did was they created some buzz. Bonkers just saying there. Yeah, there you go. I mean, Tasha knows the deal. But Bonkers is saying there that he was the weaker wrestler of the group. But I mean, what we got in there. So according to former referee Brian Hebler on his podcast, a lot of the talent want to stay in Impact, but at the end of the day, it's all got to come down to the money. It's always about the money at the end of the day. These guys have quite short-lived careers or can have quite short-lived careers, so they
Yeah.
need to make as much money as as early
Definitely.
as possible.
Yeah.
So you totally get that. Hey, Norris,
Yeah.
nice to see you.
Yeah. And again, it's
Um,
all subjective to taste. Some people like the high flying X division. Some people appreciate that Japanese style, strong style where it's mat based. It's
Yes.
it's whatever you enjoy. But I think Impact put on a little bit of everything.
Yeah, exactly. They are the variety show of wrestling.
Oh, Crazy Steve said it best. There's the Island of Misfit mascots or Island of Misfit toys.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. That is so true. You're right, Joe. There, and obviously Steve. It's interesting because what Scott seems to do really, really well is capitalize on any little bit of buzz going that he can. And Bobby Fish has clearly done that. And Bonkers is saying, and Aaron quite rightly saying, this at the end of the day, Impact's probably a really good fit for him. If he was always that guy that was sort of kind of in the back of the group, then maybe coming to Impact, getting more time on the mic, getting to do more promo work, building more of a character. Maybe that's exactly what Bobby needs. And maybe that again, very similar if you think about it to Steve Maclin. So be interested to see where that one sort of kind of transpires. Who knows? I mean, as far as we're aware at the moment, Bobby's not been signed, but who knows? That could change come Bang for Glory. You just never know. And maybe they're just feeling the water out, seeing how the Impact fan base take to him and how he feels. It's the fit for him, that kind of stuff. But fingers crossed. We'll have to wait and see. Also, Raven set to enter into the Impact Hall of Fame announced at Victory Road. How cool was that?
It fitted based on the main event, didn't it? It was all set up for someone like Raven. You don't, unless you go back and watch the early NWA days, you don't realize how much he did for the company. He was there. He was the first real big name that came to Impact, to TNA. Had that great feud with Jarrett, which he was on the wrong end of unfairly. And yeah, like I say, he's done a lot for the company and deserves to be in there, really.
Totally agree. What
Yeah.
are you, Joe? What are your thoughts on the quote the Raven nevermore? What are your thoughts?
Oh, baby!
Fully deserved, right?
Fully deserved. The most I've seen from Raven was all the stuff he did. In this is I saw the Clockwork Orange House of Fun match, and I've seen a lot of the hardcore matches he did with Jeff Jarrett and the matches he did with and Jeff Hardy. And Raven's just a legend in the business. It's so well deserved. But he's one of these guys that you were waiting to see what was going to happen next. He's like a massive staple of the company for so long. It was only a matter of time, and I couldn't think of anyone better to go in. I just wish that Daphne got in as well.
Do you know what would have been more perfect? I thought I had a funny feeling that they might induct Daphne this year based on obviously what happened. But listen, the only thing that disappointed me, right, was I thought as well, right, we'll talk about it later as well, but Sami Callihan went into obviously the Barbed Massacre match with wearing the Mick Foley Cactus Jack attire. Could you imagine if he went in looking like Raven? Like, how cool would that have been if the fact that they just announced Raven as the as the Hall of Famer, and we know how much Sami admires Raven and takes a lot from him for his character as well. Yeah. I just think that would have been really cool.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those that's. I mean, I straight away when you're thinking, oh, could we get anyone else? I was thinking, well, we've got Kaz, at Bound for Glory. Maybe we could get hold of Matt Bentley and Johnny Devine and put Serotonin in there.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've often said, should we put more than one in the Hall of Fame. You know, I would like to have seen. I don't know, but I sort of kind of would like to see. You know, maybe you put like a talent in, and then maybe you look at maybe an official or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I think if they keep going one at a time, they'll be here like until like 30, 50. You know, they'll be here for years, inducting them one by one, won't they?
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think. And of course, you've got so many talents at the moment; they're on the verge of retirement.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. Let's see. There's another one. Dr. Stevie would have been good. Stevie Richards.
Yeah, I know that storyline wasn't to everyone's taste, but it did make me smile quite a lot.
Just to see Abyss demolish him was worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was never a fan of Stephen Richards in the WWE, but just seeing that work he was doing there with Abyss was brilliant. And and then just to see him get Black Hole Slammed into the tax or whatever, that made me laugh.
There were some cool moments when you look back at it. There were some very, very cool moments.
I mean, just showing up to see Eddie in the asylum was one of those where, like, what the hell?
yeah. Some cool stuff. Now, guys, something else that I just wanted to mention as well. We got more Impact talents being added to the Blacksmith Apparel brand of cool wrestling merch. We've got Mike Bailey, Josh Alexander, former X Division champion, friend of the show, Jake Chris, to name a few. Currently available, with a few more current Impact talents being added in the coming weeks. I think it's inevitable that we'll probably see several more as well in the future. But guys, listen, when ordering, if you use the promo code TNI15, you will also receive a 15% discount. And not only that, you will receive free shipping with every order. So guys, get down on the old Blacksmith, blacksmithapparel.com or .co.uk, I believe it is. Just get involved in that. I think it's, you know, they're a young, up-and-coming company. They were featured on the TNI flagship show on Thursday. So, you know, guys, well worth it. I mean, if you're into cool wrestling merch, then Blacksmith Apparel is the brand for you. The stuff that they do is really cool, and like we were saying it on TNI on Thursday, it's the stuff that you could wear down the pub, you know. And
they've got cool. They've got some great stuff in Bret Hart as well.
Yes, I mean you've got the Hitman shirts. Yeah. I think you've got the Bulldog shirt there as well. So there's just loads of it, you know. And it's not just t-shirt, it's not just shirts actually. I think they're doing like jackets and all sorts of bits and bobs on there as well. Just get over there, go and check it out. Like I said, use promo code TNI15 to receive that 15% discount and of course free shipping. And you know, support this up and coming quality wrestling merch provider. And again, keep an eye on it because they're adding new stuff, new talents. Like it seems like every week at the moment. I've pre-ordered my Jake Chris Firestarter shirt, so I've got that on the way, and I think I may partake in a Josh Alexander one as well at some point. But yeah, guys, if you're into your quality wrestling merch, then Blacksmith Apparel is the way to go. And like I said, if you use your TNI promo code TNI15, you'll get that 15% discount and of course free shipping. So get down there, go and check it out. I think Steve's gonna get the website and chuck that out for us as well, which would be great. So guys, so that's really good to see, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic that, you know, that we are starting to get some really cool merch as well now. Really, really cool.
The action figures as well coming soon.
Yes, we've got the action figures coming out soon. So, hang on a second. I'm just... I've got some in there. What's Kamari Christie saying? I missed that one.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. All right, no worries. Right. Unfortunately, Aaron, unable to make BFG this year. You know, I sort of kind of like, I think I used my my wife card to get to Emergence in August. I'm not sure I could, fork out another $3,000 to go to BFG. As much as I would love to, it's not going to happen, unfortunately. But hopefully, Impact to be heading to the UK at some point as well, in the very, very near future. We'll just have to wait and see. Now, Heath and Jordynne Grace to be promoting for BFG, talking about BFG, to be promoting for BFG this Friday at Heroes Hideout in Crossgate in New York. If you're in and around that area, then, get down to Heroes Hideout. They're obviously going to do a signing. Heath and Jordynne Grace going to be there doing a signing. Well worth, 10, 15 minutes of your time. Just get down there, go and see the guys. Who knows? They might be handing out tickets, and God knows what. You just never know what might be available. So it's definitely well worth getting down there and checking that out. Now we've been talking about the marketing side of things at the moment. Now, tickets and marketing for the TV tapings and specials leading up to Christmas look to be selling well, especially for the Vegas tapings. It looks like the Vegas tapings, we know that the Vegas is like 1,000-seat venue or 1,000-person venue, so it would be quite nice to see those sell out. We know we've done it in the past. It's not like it's impossible. I think with some good marketing, some good promoting from the guys that we've got now, we could see those 2 days of tapings in Vegas absolutely sold out both nights. We'll just have to fingers crossed for that, but I think that will happen. I wish I was in Vegas. Let's put it that way. I'll be all over that one. How about you?
Oh, if I could get to any of the tapings, it would be a dream.
Who knows, mate? Like I said, they might be in the UK soon. We just have to pray and hope. So, also, it's nice to see Impact promoting talents endeavors outside of Impact Wrestling, like Chris Bay's latest single, Best Version, available now. Definitely worth going and checking that out. And it's always nice when you see Impact promoting all these other things that these guys do outside of Impact Wrestling. Again, this is why guys like Chris Bay probably love staying there. Why Sami loves staying there. He's got his own promotion. Impact promote his promotion. So there are other reasons why people would sign with Impact Wrestling. Because there are other things that they can gain out of it other than necessarily the money that they get direct from them. And I'm pretty sure that Chris Bay's had a few downloads based on the fact that Impact have been, promoting his recent single, Best Version. If you've not heard it, go and check it out. It's not necessarily my cup of tea. It's not my cup of tea, but it sounds pretty good. I'm more of a rock guy. I'm more metal rock. But if you're into that style of music, it sounds pretty good to me. Yeah. So go and check that out, and of course support Chris Bay in his endeavors outside of Impact Wrestling along the way. Now, the final thing that I've got to talk about before we get into Victory Road, sorry, excuse me, is something big is coming for the Indian market. Now, not sure what that is. But we've had a few people. I know that they've now got like their Indian commentary team, and they've got obviously we've got a few Indian wrestlers on the roster now. They are starting to become more and more prominent. So, could we see a tour of India, guys? What do you think?
I think it's coming. Obviously, I think it's just one of those where they're planning for it. I would say it's definitely been in their mindset for a long time, because a lot of their things, the Indian market and a lot of their planning for that has been, I think, before they got into the Russia deal, the UK sort of deal and that. So yeah, it's coming. I would still give another couple of years though.
What, before they go there?
There's a lot to sort out, isn't there?
I don't know. They've been there before. They went there as Global Force.
But that was global.
Yeah,
that was Global Force, weren't it? So that wasn't. How much of that information has been left from Jarrett with his other promotion.
I would assume that they've still got their links with, with the channel that they're on over there. They get, the Indian market. They're one of the top. I think something like they're certainly in the top 10 of most viewed sporting, promotions. Sometimes they even top WWE in the viewership so far.
India, they go mad for it, and India.
They love Impact in India, so I
have,
can't imagine it'd be too difficult to put something together fairly soon. And I would imagine that they've still got those contacts that they had previously. When Anthem went over with Jeff and did a few bits and bobs over there. But I think it's coming. I honestly think it's coming. I don't think they would be pushing the what's that? What are you pointing at?
They should. It's about time they got back into the international markets again.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't even seen them get back to Canada or Mexico yet. That's
Well, yeah. No, but that doesn't mean to say they're not going to. I think the big priority...
that's what we mean. We need to see them get out of America again.
I think their big priority this year has been trying to gain a bit more of a presence in their nation market, in the biggest market on the planet, which at the end of the day is still North America. It's still the biggest market for professional wrestling. They needed to get more of a foothold in. I think that's been the goal this year, is to try and get more eyes on the product in the US, which is why they've been doing what they've been doing.
100%.
I think they tested the water in a few different areas to see where they could draw, where they could draw the ticket sales. I think they know where those areas are now. So I think what we'll see in 2023 is a couple of areas that didn't draw so well. They probably won't go back to those areas. They'll go back to the top 4 or 5 areas that were the draws in the US. I think you'll see us go back into Canada. I think you'll see us go back to Mexico. I think you'll see a UK tour, and I think you'll see them in India in 2023. That's my prediction.
India for me is definitely in their sights for next year. It's the build up to, like you said, the Indian talent that's coming through. You got Bhavinda Gujar, Shira's come back now. Raj Singh is making more of an appearance.
Yeah,
and it's inevitable that there's something. Bhavinda Gujar has been putting out on Twitter about there's some massive things coming for the Indian fans in Impact Wrestling too. So
you can't tell me that, like, for instance, they've introduced Joe Hendry now. For instance, now what we saw when they were looking to build back into that Russian market was all of a sudden Masha Slamovich was signed.
Yeah.
And then a little bit later they were pushing her as this Russian beast, and then all of a sudden, we got the Russian TV deal, right? You cannot tell me that Joe coming on board now is a coincidence. The same as you cannot tell me that the fact that they've got now at least 3 regular Indian wrestlers or Indian heritage wrestlers turning up on Impact Wrestling regularly every week is a coincidence. That they are setting the seeds, they're putting everything in there, crossing the T's, dotting the I's, and all of a sudden it'll go boom. Here we go. We've got a brand spanking new deal in India for the TV. We're going over there to do a tour. We're going to do a set of tapings over there, maybe a pay-per-view, maybe, or something's going to happen with regards to India. And I'm all for it. I'm absolutely all for it. The money's there in these markets, so let's go and get it. That's my thought process. I think we're going to see a couple more UK talents turn up on Impact in the next couple of months, or certainly the start of 2023. I think that's what we're going to see, and then obviously we'll get that build to the UK tour towards the end of the year. That's my thoughts. I think traditionally Impact have come to the UK around about September time when they've done tours, so I would imagine they're going to try and stick to that kind of time of the year that they might turn up at in the UK. They won't bring a pay-per-view here, but they'll have a special and a set of tapings, I reckon, which would be pretty awesome. But there you go. That's basically pretty much the rumors, the news, and of course, the Impact. Look back at the week. Zach Bonifer's in the house, guys, as well as Dev Punk Gage. Great to see you guys. There you go. Not since Sanjay Dutt finally won the X Division title has Impact done something major in India. You're correct. It was 2017. It was when they went over there. They did some big stuff, which was great. And then obviously they didn't do anything after that because it all sort of kind of went tits up when Jeff decided to drink loads of alcohol again.
Yep.
Saying that, you can drink out of a pint glass.
smashing my pint of Jack and Coke. But there you go. Warm in the old cockles in the freezing cold Mandalorian cave right now. It's all good, guys. Countdown to Victory Road. Let's talk about the countdown show, shall we?
Yes.
Go for it.
So, the countdown to Victory Road obviously got started. We sort of kind of like started off with the Bullet Club, Juice Robinson, Ace Austin, and Chris Bay versus Jason Hotch, Shotgun, and of course Jack Price. So basically, Bullet Club versus Team Gutcheck. Again, I thought this was a really good match, and it highlighted how good, for me, how good Ace Austin and Chris Bay are as a team. Yes, we had Juice Robinson in there as well, but a lot of the sort of kind of like teamwork stuff was coming from Ace and Bay.
It's been a bangorama.
Which I thought really, really well. I thought Shogun looked pretty good. Jason Hotch looked pretty solid. But for me, the standout in Team Gutcheck was Jack Price. I thought he had a great showing in this match. What were your thoughts on this one, guys?
Like you said, it's great to see the Gutcheck winners out there. I'll start with a negative and say disappointed they didn't get an entrance. I was slightly disappointed when I turned on and they were already standing in the ring. I thought that kind of undermined them straight away. However, the match itself was, like you say, incredible. The Bay and Ace are in every match. We're seeing more tag team offense, and this time, I was wondering if we were going to be seeing Juice added into that, but he kind of just came in and done more of the singles action, which was really good. I've been wanting to see Shogun for ages on Impact, and I thought he gave a good showing of himself, but for me, I thought the standout here was Jason Hotch. I thought he came off like an absolute star in this. He really did. I think there was a moment he was in there with Bay, I think, and they were just going at it, and you were like, yeah, this could be an X Division title match.
Yeah, I'm not saying Jason wasn't great, and I think he was fantastic. It was just for me. I just felt Jack was the one that stood out.
It's great that we've got two Gutcheck winners, and we're both sort of saying, well, they're both good. They're both sort of good.
Well, it was. I mean, effectively, the whole team are Gutcheck winners. So it was. I know that it was the previous year that Shogun won, and it's been a while. But it's good to start seeing him turn up now. He's starting to come in now. I mean, I know he's been at OVW a lot. I know he's been down there. He's been working a lot with probably Al Snow and stuff. And now he's really starting to turn up on Impact. I think it's great that Impact have shown that commitment, to continue working with Shogun because they intended to bring him in. They have done. Now he's come in, and we're starting to see the other two guys as well. I think these three guys are definitely homegrown talents that are gonna shine in the years to come. I think we're going to be like, wow, thank God we brought them in. I mean, you only got to look at Rohit Raju. At the end of the day, Rohit came in as Hakeem Zayne through Gutcheck.
Yeah, he was one of the first guys to win it.
Yeah. So there is the commitment there to push these guys and bring them through. So I think that's good to see.
Yeah.
Now, once this match was done, obviously the Bullet Club defeated Team Gutcheck, as I'm liking to call it. We then had an interview with Uemura, Impact World Champion Josh Alexander, Rich Swann, and Heath. They all vow that they're ready for war with Honor No More tonight. you know, I mean, it was just a bog standard. We're ready to kick some ass type, you know, promo interview, whatever you want to call it. You know, it was good. Fair enough. You know, done the job. We then head straight in to the second match, and the second match was Tasha Steelz, of course, with Savannah Evans in her corner, versus, for me, the outstanding Killer Kelly. Now, obviously, Killer Kelly is so first thing for me is this, right? Tasha Steelz is awesome. She's great at you know, the you know, talking smack and, you know, basically setting up her character. Her character's really cool. But then you've got the Killer Kelly. Now the presentation of Killer Kelly, I think the way that she's come in, the whole red lights, you know, when she comes in, the whole place goes red. This whole kind of like you know, I see her as like a Jigsaw type character from Saw. You know, this almost like cerebral kind of, you know, killer assassin type character. She likes to watch people, you know, she likes to feel pain, and she's, you know, she likes to watch people and kind of figure people out, that kind of, you know, that kind of stuff. I love it. I think her character is amazing. And I think she plays it so well. You know, when she comes in, just, you know, everything that she does, if you actually watch her performance, sometimes I don't think, like, because a lot of people are like, oh, she hasn't, you know, I don't think she's been particularly impressive in the ring from a wrestling standpoint. But that's because she's not just being a wrestler when she gets in the ring. She's a character.
It's like
right?
Rosemary.
Yes, she's a character. So she is portraying a character, not just she's not just this character when she's outside the ring. She's a character when she's inside the ring the whole time. She's like Rosemary in a sense that, you know, Rosemary never leaves character, ever.
Yeah.
She is Rosemary the whole time. She's, you know, you never ever see, you know, Courtney Rush, do you? You just don't ever see Courtney. All you see is Rosemary the whole time. And that's what we're getting from Killer Kelly. I think this character will build, and I think it will work better with some people than others. But I thought this match was really, really good. And I think they're really pushing Killer Kelly. I can see at some point Killer Kelly as the Knockouts champion in 2023. But we're just going to have to wait and see. But in this particular instance, Tasha Steelz beats Killer Kelly by disqualification after using, obviously, a chain to choke Tasha. After Savannah Evans tried to choke Kelly out while the ref was being distracted, of course, but didn't see that. We then get an aftermatch thing where, you know, Killer Kelly decides to choke out the referee, obviously before the Impact officials, Lance Storm and Tommy Dreamer. We haven't seen Tommy Dreamer for a while, come out to break it all up and all the rest of it. And of course, Scott, I don't think, was too impressed, or Gail wasn't particularly impressed with this either. But what were your thoughts? I mean, what are your thoughts on Killer Kelly? What were your thoughts on this match? I'm going to go with Joe. I'm going to go because I think Joe appreciates this type of character.
Yeah, I love the character work from all three of the knockouts. You know, Savannah Evans does a good job of this silent protagonist who you're waiting for her to do this, to snap or to destroy someone. But Killer Kelly, like I said, she reminds me so much of when Rosemary came in. The way she moves around the ring, it's all character driven. You know, when we first saw her with Renee Michelle, she was you saw what her wrestling ability was like, and it was outstanding. Now she's come in. She's literally like this twisted. I'm trying to think of the right word without. I don't know what the hell to summarize it. Summarize it, to be honest. But yeah, one of the most impressive things is, like I said, body language and the smile, the evil smile. But you see that, you know, she's like a Black Widow. You know,
it's real sinister, isn't it? It's really sinister. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, like you said, I was going into this match like I'm intrigued in how they're going to book this, and we've sort of said how Tasha's title reign went, but this was one of those kind of coming out moments for her where, you know, she had a hell of a match against Killer Kelly, and I'm loving the direction that this is going. You know, the two pair up together really well, character-wise and in the ring. And the impact before Victory Road, when they were showing those flashing red lights and obviously Tasha walking through, gave me like Fire and Flavor vibe with the red and blue.
Yeah, a little bit.
You know, it was one of those where I was like, oh, this is a bit weird, you know. Yeah. So it's kind of one of those kind of flashback moments where it's like, are they doing is that a nod to anything? But no, as Mir said, he hated the ending of the match, but I thought it was perfect because it's one of those where I think it keeps the feud going to Bound for Glory. Yeah. And
totally.
It still makes both women look strong, I think.
Yeah, and
there were no other. If there were other DQs in the pay per view, then you'd have said another one, because there was only the one. I think you can get away with it.
Yeah. I think it worked really well. I'm intrigued on this now. This storyline. I know I had a bit of a conversation with somebody on Twitter the other day. They were basically saying that Tasha's being, being what's the word? Being buried because, by Killer Kelly, they're burying her. And I'm like, they're not. They're really not. This is a mutual thing here. This is showing both of them in a really, really good light, I think.
How could she be Rose when this is her first official match back since she her last loss? So
exactly.
What fucking stupid, bloody, pathetic twattery is that?
Yeah, it's stupid. But I sort of kind of tried to point out that they're she's not being buried. She's in a current major storyline.
Yeah.
But anyway, she's been. I think it's working well for both of them personally. And I'm going to be interested to see how it pans out leading into Bound for Glory, because I think this is going to be possibly one of the attraction matches. We're going to get some kind of, hardcore style Killer Kelly Jigsaw match or something.
If Lockdown is going to come back, Lethal Lockdown, put them two in it.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. That's the type of thing. That's what I'm talking about. That kind of stuff. I think that's where we're going to go with this. We had
the ladder match return, and as soon as I saw the ladder match return, I thought they've got to bring cage matches back now. And if Lethal Lockdown was to come back, then put Tasha Steelz and Killer Kelly in, because Tasha Steelz is going to be ducking Killer Kelly now for the next couple of weeks. So this would be great. And it also keeps Savannah Evans out of the match as well. So she's it's just like you got nowhere to run, you got nowhere to hide moment.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really looking forward to this one. And Dead Punk, exactly. The argument the guy was trying to say that they were burying her in the storyline before this match. So clearly they were thinking, right, there's no way that Tasha's going to win. They're building Killer Kelly up.
Well,
she's going to go out and smash it.
I think he's just nailed the next step.
Clockwork Orange House of Fun match. Oh yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, but again, that is perfect for someone like Killer Kelly.
Yeah,
as the character that she is. Perfect. I think they should do a Saul something. I forgot what's the name of the character in Saul. What's his name?
Jason.
No, John Kramer.
John Kramer.
That's the one.
I think they should do a John Kramer match. that would be awesome. Okay, so that's great. That was pretty much the countdown. I think if anyone was watching that and was thinking to themselves, "Shall I buy Victory Road on Fight on Fight.com?" I think they would have done it because both those matches were really good and certainly would have sold me. So we then head into Victory Road, obviously the special itself. We get the X Division champion Mike Bailey versus Delirious for the X Division championship. Again, like we said, another random match, but it was great. It was a great, fast-paced and hard-hitting match as well. See, that's something that we've not. I don't think we've we've had a lot of, acrobatic stuff and a lot of sort of storytelling and whatnot with Mike Bailey matches, but we've not had. That's it. There you go. Can they do a cinematic Jigsaw type match? See, that's what I'm talking about. That would be awesome.
That would be fantastic.
Now, I think that this match was fantastic. It had everything. It had speed. it had high flying and it had hard hitting. It even had kind of like, mat wrestling. It even had submission moves and all sorts of stuff going on. This match was really good and proved that Delirious is still one hell of a wrestler and is still doing the same style of matches that he's been doing for the past 20 odd years. This guy, it could be a real asset to Impact Wrestling if he was to come in, whether it be backstage or even as an on-screen talent every now and again. A bit like Chris Sabin did when he sort of initially was all backstage for a while, and when he was feeling confident, he'd come and have the odd match here and there. Maybe do something like that with him. I don't know, but I really enjoyed this match. Of course, X Division champion Mike Bailey eventually defeats Delirious to retain his championship. What were your thoughts on this one? I'm going to go with Steve. I went with Joe last. I'm going to go with Steve on this one. What were your thoughts on this one?
First thing I noticed was that Delirious has really toned his character down. I remember watching him years ago, and he'd be off the wall, running around the ring, like literally being Delirious. Whereas I think he just came out, walked straight to the ring. It really toned it down. It wasn't kind of the character Delirious of old, but
Okay.
that doesn't mean that we lost any of the attributes in the ring at all. Like you said, it was very hard hitting, and obviously we're used to seeing that from Mike Bailey, but not so much the opponent. And it was one of those where I think there were moments in Bailey's kind of eyes were like, oh, hang on a minute, do I need to change something? And I think there were times where the crowd was like, we kind of want Delirious to win here, because he was obviously the crowd were really getting behind him. But yeah, like you say, he'd be either great being an addition to the X Division or backstage. Great way to kick the show off. Normally, I'm not a big fan of the X Division being in the opening spot, but yeah, if you're going to kick it off hot.
Yeah, I agree. What about you, Joe? Were you good with this one?
This is one of the best opening matches for any event I've seen for a very long time. And I think if you guys, when I was watching it along, I tried to do a feedback as I was watching along. My summary for this match was, holy shit, this is fucking brutal. This match, Mike Bailey and Delirious, they beat the shit out of each other in this match, and it was so entertaining. And I even got a thumbs up from Mike Bailey from my feedback. But I first expected Mike Bailey to win, but there were some points in this match where I could see it go to Delirious. If I hadn't been watching it on Sunday night, but it was so good. It was just so back and forth. I've said before, spoilers don't bother me, because when you're so engaged in the match, you forget about the results completely. So I'm there still thinking Delirious is going to win this match when I'm watching it, and there's some points where I really did think he could walk out with the victory, and it was just so. But the submission moves we got to see from Mike Bailey, we've not seen that since he took on Trey Miguel.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
So it's been ages, and it's just such a perfect match.
Yeah, I think it was a great match. I really do. And, I mean, interesting what Mir's just been saying about Mike Bailey. That was his 9th successful X Division title match. We've got Christopher Daniel. Yeah, holds a title record with 13 successful title defenses set back in 2005. Just imagine if the 14th match was Christopher Daniels and Speedball Mike Bailey beats
I love this match!
And Hans passes the torch to Mike.
It's a real shame that obviously they couldn't tie in that 14th match at Bound for Glory, and Bound for Glory was Christopher Daniels.
Yeah, but still got Hard to Kill.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but the rate that Bailey's going, he's not going to drag out like 5 matches all the way to Hard to Kill.
Well, yeah, you never know. You never know now, because I think, or it could happen on special, I guess. But you never know, because I think they're going to have to slow down the title defenses. You can't just keep having a title defense every week. I think he's going to go into a feud now. Well, we're going to hit Bound for Glory. He'll win. Hopefully, he'll go into some sort of feud.
Yeah, him and Kenny or Mia Yim.
They'll drag it out a little bit longer. I think the feud for Mia Yim's going to be Kenny King, to be honest, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But anyway, that match was done. Great match, great opening match to the show, set the tone. We then get the announce team informing us to bid on, obviously, the ring-worn autographed and other special memorabilia now at ebay.com/Impact Wrestling. And of course, all the proceeds will go to Joe Doring as he battles cancer. As we were talked about, I don't think there's much longer to go on that, guys. So if you're interested in
it's
that,
about an hour.
Head over there. Yeah, it's about an hour. So head over there and get bidding. So you don't want to miss out on something. So you could still listen to us in the background when you're bidding on stuff, but get over there and do that. We then get Maria Kanellis calls Victory Road the pathway to the biggest night of the year for Honor No More, Bound for Glory. Eddie Edwards is furious with PCO after he disobeyed him and accepted Heath's street fight open challenge in a losing effort. Obviously, the previous night. That was a really good promo actually from Eddie. I quite like that.
Yeah.
We then get PCO and Vincent versus obviously the Motor City Machine Guns. Now, for me, we get some great chemistry between Vincent and PCO, and a great build-up, obviously, for Sabin and Shelley as they head into BFG, title match with Honor Moore's OGK as the tag champs. We obviously, they weren't going to lose to PCO because then that would pretty much, be pretty shit going in losing to PCO and Vincent against OGK. But what I enjoyed about this particular match is a nice warm-up, but what I enjoyed about this particular match was the chemistry that was on display between Vincent and PCO.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, we know that the chemistry between Motor City Machine Guns, between Sabin and Shelley is great, always has been. Nothing's going to change that. But Vincent and PCO, kind of a new thing, but they looked really good. Kind of build a tag division as such. Vincent and PCO, like you say, Bay and Ace Austin. We're starting to build a pretty good division here.
We're doing it without
OGK sticks around.
Sort of quietly.
They're doing it without actually. Yes. Yeah, they're just quietly going about their business. It's not the first time we've seen Vincent and PCO together. They've been sort of kind of building this relationship between these two on TV for months. With the initial promo of Vincent sort of bringing PCO back to life.
Yeah.
That's where it all sort of kind of started to rebuild. So
it's all Jonah's fault that they lost.
Yes.
Bloody Jonah. Yeah, it's all about Jonah. Damn him. But yeah, and I think that's sort of kind of where we're going with this. But, this was a really, really good match. And I think, we know how good Motor City Machine Guns are. But this, for me, was definitely, a way to highlight PCO and Vincent as a tag team. Do you guys agree? Do you agree in the chat? What were your thoughts on this match? What did you think about the team and the PCO and Vincent in this match? What are your thoughts, guys?
Yeah, they rode it perfectly. You got the Guns facing OGK at Bound for Glory, so it gives a good momentum for them. And Vincent and PCO, this is the best they've looked together, but obviously a loss gives them, puts them further down the pecking order in in Eddie's eyes. So it drives that story forward. So it's a good loss for the story.
Yes, I think so. Yeah. And again, it doesn't seem to matter whether PCO wins or loses. He's over, baby.
Yeah.
And I think, Vincent's over as well. I think people really like Vincent.
If Eddie Edwards is pissed off at someone, then they're going to be over. And, people in the chat are saying that it's time for PCO to turn face. That's coming.
It will come.
I think we might even see it this week. I think we're going to see Vincent and PCO break away. They're just going to have enough of Eddie Edwards and Honor No More, and just think they're going to cut their losses and go elsewhere. That Eddie Edwards is going to kick them out.
And I agree with Anna there as well, by the way. Anna's talking about the hood being put over PCO.
Yeah.
I like that as well. I thought that was a really cool thing. And showing that, basically PCO is now, Vincent's
Puppet.
monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's his monster. Yeah. So it's good. I thought it was a great match. And I'm looking forward to see how this now moves forward. Like I said, for me, this was all about story and highlighting that PCO and Vincent could be a really, really good tag team. I think they've got a really good chemistry. So we then head next match where we've got Gisele Shaw versus, of course, the last rodeo match, Mickie James.
God damn it.
Joe, I was like slowly setting that bad boy up for you.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry, you're going to get a double dose later.
God.
Hardcore country.
Yes, baby, there it was. Hardcore country. Hey guys, talking about hardcore country, did you all see...
Hardcore country.
Yes. Did you see the I don't know, what do you call it? The mashup or whatever it is between with Mia Yim's music and Mickie James. I thought it was really good.
No, I haven't.
Really
I have
good.
to check that out.
I saw the
Go
tweet
check it
about it,
out.
but I've not seen it. No, so
You need to check it out.
I do need. Yeah,
Mickie James tweeted it. Mickie James
Okay.
tweeted about it, so it'll be on her Twitter feed. Go and check it out. It's really good. But anyway, it's a last rodeo match, of course. Gisele Shaw versus Mickie James. Really good, hard-hitting, athletic match between the legend Mickie James against the spotlight stealer Gisele Shaw. Gisele proved how athletic she is with some great offense, especially with an over-the-top rope corkscrew kick that defo made contact with Mickie James' cheek, as we saw later after the show with a photograph. And also proved that a promo that she did later on that popped out was done prior to that match. But there you go. So she definitely made contact with that cheek. But this was a great match, and I think really highlighted the athleticism, especially of Gisele Shaw, and how good she really is there as well. Obviously, Mickie James gets the win over Gisele. But like I said, really, really good match. I love Mickie James to the moon and back. So any match that includes her is a thumbs up for me. The fact is with the incredible spotlight stealer Gisele Shaw as well was good. And again, nobody at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who she's fighting, right? Nobody looks bad in defeat to Mickie James. She's
Hardcore country.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, she is a legend. We're doing this last rodeo thing. It's a great story. I'm loving it, and I'll tell you now, whoever ends up beating Mickie James is going to be put over big time. So looking forward to that. Do you guys enjoy this one?
Yeah,
yeah.
Gisele coming out with the happy retirement balloon. I was pissing myself. I was like, oh, that's fantastic. That really is. But no, this was a big stepping stone for her because, like, we kept saying it's stop start. Sadly, through no fault of her own, and this was her shining by herself and really showing, okay, I'm going to go out there and show you what I can do.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I totally agree. What about you, Joe? What do you think?
I was absolutely blown away by this match. It's one of my favourites of the night. Gisele Shaw just proved to everyone that she's got something really special about her. I saw a lot of influence from Trey Miguel in a lot of her offense during this match, especially with that over-the-top rope corkscrew roundhouse kick to Mickie James's face. That was just incredible. But throughout the entire match, she showed a lot of endurance and a lot of aggressiveness that we'd never seen before. And you'd expect it being a big match against Mickie James in general, but even I didn't think Gisele Shaw would go that far, and I was just so impressed, and I hope we see more of it.
I agree. Can I just apologise because I've got a bit of the snivel, so if people can hear me sniffing, I appreciate. I'm sorry about that. It's either that or I do massive quick blows every now and again. I'm not going to do that, so I apologise. If anyone can hear me sniffing and it sounds disgusting, I apologise. Okay, first and foremost. It's got cold. All of a sudden, we're getting colds over here in the UK.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just warning you, letting you know.
Yeah, and some of us still can't have the heating on.
No, because it's just too bloody expensive.
It's too expensive.
Yeah. But there you go. Bonkers.
This is sick. This is sick. This whole place is going to hell in a handbasket.
Interesting bonkers. He's got they could tell you who would win out of Mickie versus Mia Yim. I just have this feeling that eventually we're going to get 2 matches with Mia Yim. Maybe Mia is the one that's going to get put over in the end. I don't know. I think she was put over several years ago by Gail Kim, as was Tessa Blanchard, who then obviously spit in Gail's face after doing that. But I don't know. Whoever it is, whoever retires Mickie James is going to be put over huge. And it's got a hell of a future ahead of her. Just don't know who it's going to be yet.
Yeah.
But there you go. Now we then move on into the triple threat revolver with the winner challenges for the X Division title at Bound for Glory. Now I'm just going to quickly run through the rules so we kind of fully understand it. So the rules for the triple threat revolver are 3 competitors start. Whoever gets pinned or submitted is eliminated. The new competitor comes in after the elimination. The match then continues until it's down to the last 3 competitors. The final wrestler to score a pinfall or submission is the winner and will challenge Mike Bailey, obviously, for the X Division title at Bound for Glory. So we start this match off with Mia Yim versus Laredo Kid versus Trey Miguel. Laredo Kid started off like a tornado, shall we say, like an absolute tornado. And I'm like, he's getting eliminated first, purely and simply because he just started so well. It was like, well, let's get as much as Laredo Kid's offense, badass, fast ass, crazy shit in as possible before he gets eliminated. But yeah, no, I think that was, I think it was great. I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed the start of the match. Of course, Mia Yim then eliminates Laredo Kid, which I didn't know who was going to eliminate him, but I certainly expected him to be first. Alex Zayne is then added. We then get some really cool stuff from Alex Zayne. Again, I love Alex Zayne. I want them to sign Alex Zayne.
Impact need to pick him up.
I think they need to sign Alex Zayne. I think he is a absolutely incredible talent. He reminds me of, because of his size, because he's bigger. He actually reminds me of a John Morrison that can talk.
Yeah. He's got charisma, he's got promo ability, he's got the athleticism. He's got everything. He's got everything that John Morrison didn't have, plus John Morrison's athletic ability. So he could do everything. John Morrison is amazing in the ring. I just don't rate him. I think his acting is really poor. His promo skills are poor. Which is what lets him down, unfortunately. Whereas Alex have got those things, and he's very convincing. I love it when he comes out and twiddles his moustache. I love that. I think that's cool. This is a guy that I think you could get behind. I think Impact could do a lot with. Certainly building a character. At the moment, he seems to be coming in and out. He's not really involved in anything other than the odd match here and there. So you can't really build his character, or you can't really put him into anything, because he just sort of kind of turns up when needed. I think is kind of what they do with him. And they kind of need to do something with it. If they kind of need to get behind him and get him in the company, because otherwise we'll have the same situation we had with, like, say, Blake Christian, where he was coming in and out, and then obviously AEW got hold of him.
Yeah, exactly. And like Bonus Baby says, he also has all the Taco Bell sauce. So he is the sauce. But so it's all good. But of course, Mia Yim eliminates Alex Zayne. So straight off the bat, Mia Yim is kicking some serious ass, and she's eliminated 2 straight off the bat, which was absolutely fantastic. Mia did spend quite a lot of time outside the ring, while a lot of stuff inside the ring was going on. But she had a good showing. She really did, and I'm a big fan of Mia, so that was good for me to see. Of course, Zayne goes out. Kenny, King, King comes in. Kenny King, quite quickly, I felt, eliminates Mia Yim. And this is where we know that this is story-driven here. And I think that we're going to see very soon some kind of feud between Kenny King and Mia Yim. And, of course, Mia Yim's got her match with Mickie that we find out later at BFG. I think this is where Kenny King gets involved and we have a problem. One thing that I really liked, about when Kenny King was in as well, is that he did a thing where he eliminated me, and then he turns to the camera, looks the camera straight in the face and says something about Shelton Benjamin. I didn't catch it either. I didn't quite catch what was said, but and I love that because to me that was like, okay, that's interesting.
But King was great through the match, just carrying carrying the match with his charisma, with his mic skills, and like we haven't seen that for ages, like maybe since Rohit was the champion. So we need to get Kenny back in the X division ASAP.
Yes. I mean, Kenny King is an amazing wrestler. Like, he's just so good. I loved him the first time he was with Impact Wrestling. I think he's been 3, so he's been in 3 times.
I think so.
This is his 3rd, isn't it?
This is his 3rd time.
Yeah, this is his 3rd stint. Now, I've liked him whenever he's been with Impact Wrestling. I loved him as part of the was he in the Beatdown
Clan?
Yeah, I loved him when he was in that. His ability to, like when he promos, he's almost rapping. It's just so good.
Yeah.
It really is. He promos, he just rhymes everything. Yeah. And I think it's fantastic. The only, do you remember when we went to Wrestle Carnival and I said about the man called Delirious? Do you remember? And I said to you guys, and I said to you guys, you need to check this guy out, right? Because he reminds me of like a modern version. I say a modern version because Kenny King is Kenny King. He's been Kenny King for like 15 years. His character hasn't changed. His promo stuff hasn't changed. He's been that all the whole time, which is great because that's him. But he's almost like a younger version of Kenny King on almost like on speed. Do you know what? It's really hard to explain it, right? But that's what I see in that guy. That's what I see in that guy. And I'll tell you what, guys, if you haven't checked out Man Called Delirious on Twitter, you need to go and check him out because he's on my Twitter. We follow each other. Go if you can't find him, just put in a search for Man Called Delirious, I think it is. Okay, the guy is so good. He's currently the Wrestle Carnival champion. Well worth checking him out in the ring and his entrance because his entrance is really cool. So go check that out. Anyway, we then get Uemura added into the ring, obviously after Mia. He didn't last that long, unfortunately.
No, I was a bit disappointed with that.
Yeah, before Trey Miguel eliminated him. We then obviously get Frankie Kazarian added. Who was pretty much everybody's pick for the win on this one, I think. Interestingly enough, and that Frankie then ended up tapping, Trey Miguel basically taps out to Kaz, which I was like, wow, I didn't expect that at all. But, we had some good high-flying interaction between these two as well.
Well, you don't expect it in multi-man matches because you just expect the other person to break it up. But obviously this one is, pinfalls don't matter until the end. So obviously King was just stood there like, nah, tap him out.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. But that happened. I mean, King was all over that. And yes,
King was fantastic letting him beat up.
Could you imagine a man like Delirious coming out, his entrance in the Impact Zone? I honestly believe that the crowd would go mental for him.
The crowd
they
would go
would go.
insane.
They would love him. I think the
Yeah.
Impact Zone would absolutely love him.
When
And
he
in the
came out, it really sent my adrenaline going just listening to him come out to the ring. He was fucking
Yeah.
brilliant.
He
Yeah.
would be an amazing addition to the X division, along with Robbie X as well, which we talked about before. But he would be great. Now I know Delirious' tag partner is that Leon Slater, which is interesting. But I think maybe the both of them together as tag team would be good too.
Yeah. We
But
need
anyway,
tag teams.
we then get Black Taurus added. And there's a few people were saying they thought Black Taurus was going to win.
I thought, at first, but then Frankie Kazarian was the most obvious choice.
Yeah. We then get. Well, I actually thought with Kenny pinning Mia, I actually thought Kenny was looking favourite to win at that point. But we sort of kind of went through. We got some outstanding lucha libre from Black Taurus. I mean, the dude is so good. He is so good. And of course, he wasn't the one that got pinned.
Yeah,
Kaz
they protected him. They protected him, didn't they?
They protected him. So Kaz gets the win by pinning Kenny King. So now what we've got is Kaz heading to Bang for Glory as number one contender to face Mike Bailey. We've got Kenny King, which obviously, gets pinned. So that means that he potentially then moves aside, and I think could be moving into a storyline with Mia Yim. And then we've got Black Taurus, who got protected by not getting the pin, which effectively, if you think, potentially makes him the next guy in line for an X Division title shot if... let's face it, the guy is so intelligent that he's working it. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing, Black Taurus. I'm telling you now.
Yeah.
He knows exactly what he's doing. Anyway, so I think there was a lot of stuff set up during this multi-man match to move forward. I enjoyed it. I know that there was a couple of kind of botchy moments in there, and there's a couple of things that didn't quite work.
You're going to get the odd one.
You're gonna. Christ, there were 6 people involved in this match. You had a lot going on, and it was a good half an hour. I guess it was at least half an hour long. So it's a hell of a lot to produce and put together. But it was a great match. I enjoyed it. It kept my attention the whole time, and I think it did some great work for taking on and building storylines moving forward. What were your thoughts, guys? Let's go with Joe.
This was an incredible match. It did its job. It pretty much stole the show right up until Barbed Massacre. Everyone in this match did an amazing job. We got to see more of your can't pronounce his fucking name now. The guy from Japan. Yeah,
Uemura. Yeah,
he looked so impressive in this match. Even the short stint we got from the Laredo Kid, like you said, it was fast, but it was what we would expect to see from him. I mean, he showed all his work, and it was just amazing. The stuff between Mia Yim and Kenny King was brilliant. That panned out, and the finish was great too. Trey Miguel I thought he was in the gold way to the end. I thought Kenny King was going to lose before Trey Miguel, so I was really surprised that Trey Miguel lost before Kenny King. Yeah. So, and then when it came down to King, Taurus, and Kazarian, I see Kenny King getting the pin, like you said, knocking him to the side. So Mia Yim can rub that in his face now, and Eddie Edwards can get pissed off about that. Eddie Edwards will be pissed off about that. Because Kenny King promised he'd get the job done, and he failed as well. So my boy Eddie's going to be really, really miffed. But Frankie Kazarian versus Mike Bailey is going to be amazing at Bound for Glory, and we've only got another week to wait.
I think so. Not long at all. But I think overall, that was a good half hour of pay-per-view for me. I've really enjoyed it.
Definitely.
We then go backstage to Gail Kim, who grants Taya Valkyrie, Rosemary, and Jessica their rematch for the Knockouts World Tag Titles at Bang for Glory. Now, this time it will be Taya and Jessica challenging for gold. VXT or Vexed or whatever you want to call them confronts the trio, but Jessica makes them pay, which I thought was really good. And interestingly enough, guys, and Steve, we were talking about this a lot in the in the last couple of weeks, where we thought that we were going to get Taya and Jessica as a tag team, didn't we?
Yeah,
because I'm sick.
When they initially found Jessica, I mean, it was Taya who found her first.
Yeah.
And you just saw them together, and you're like, these two fit together perfectly. It's somehow in the future going to end up with these two, Taya and Jessica, teaming together. And obviously it has done. And Rosemary's going to be interesting to watch this, because obviously it looks like she's got some kind of plan in both of them teaming together. So, I'm intrigued to kind of see what's going on in that mind.
Yeah, that mind. It's going to be interesting. I'm excited because I honestly think that Taya and Jess are on the same wavelength. Do I think they're going to win at Bound for Glory? Probably not, because I think it'd be too early. But I think they're gonna form a pretty formidable team moving forward.
One thing we can say is, while it is a kind of a rematch, it is a fresh team in a way.
Yeah, it's a bit like that whole Freebird rule thing, isn't it? But no, it's good. Aaron saying that he loved when Jessica said the cross the line TNA throwback. Yeah, I like that as well.
You crossed the line. Don't touch my tag team partners.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that was great, and like Chelsea just went flying. But I think that's what's to come. Okay, so we then go back to obviously the arena, and we've got Bobby Fish makes a jaw-dropping appearance at Victory Road. Fish gets on the mic and says that of late he's been turned into a lightning rod of controversy. Fish says that after being in the business for 20 years, he's not here for the bullshit. Fish says that the Impact locker room is full of people who will step into the ring and give it everything they've got. And then Raj Singh comes along and interrupts with, of course, his sidekick, the Indian Lion Shearer by his side. Singh then dishes out, a series of insults. He came across really well on the mic, actually.
Singh is fantastic on the mic. He's really so good underrated. On the mic. Yeah.
But Fish says that he doesn't know who they are, which is like basically the biggest insult ever. Singh then pushes Fish. And things get physical. Fish takes out Shearer with a jumping knee, followed by a suplex to Singh, which actually looked botched to me. Fish locks in the fishbone, the fish hook submission, forcing Singh to tap out. Shearer drags Singh to safety as Fish stands tall and basically states he did all of that with one shoe. Which was. I think it was. It was great. I'm not like I said, I don't really know too much about the guy. I know that he basically put his neck on the line, said a few things, basically told Punk he was a pussy, and a few other bits and bobs like that. But wasn't there something? Because I think if I'm right in thinking this, is Bobby Fish a sensei of martial arts of some sort?
I think he's got some kind of background, but I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know.
And it was, I'm sure he says something along the lines of he would literally kick his ass in a real fight. Or something along those sort of lines. Like I don't know. I don't really know too much about it. But
I never looked into it because I never thought I'd have to.
No. I mean, it's not something that really, sort of bothers me. So. What's this? We'll have some errands to run. Oh, that's gutted. Unfortunately, we'll see you. We'll see you next week. Make sure that you check up the rest of the show, Courtney. But take care, my love, and we'll speak to you soon. So, he's created some buzz. The internet went crazy. The Impact Zone went crazy. So, maybe we'll see a bit more Fish moving forward. I think the reaction that he got is something that would probably make him think about signing with Impact Wrestling. We'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, so that went down. That's all been done and dusted. We then get the Impact World Champion Josh Alexander and Rich Swann, Heath versus Honor No More, Eddie Edwards, and of course Impact World Tag Team Champions Matt Taven and Mike Bailey. And of course the lovely Maria was ringside as well. So that was interesting. So this basically was another incredibly fast-paced, hard-hitting multi-man match with a great showing from Heath, especially. I thought Heath had a really good showing in this match. OGK and Eddie Edwards really showed how well they could work together. And of course, with Maria causing distractions ringside, as always. Eddie eventually hits Josh with the Boston Knee Port and then hits him with the Die Hard Driver to get the pin on the Impact World Champion. And, of course, the win for Honor No More. Now, you know, was this... I think this was just Honor No More as a team of Eddie and OGK just worked really well together. They did a fantastic job, I thought.
I thought there was another storyline added in this.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. On this one, I was going to go to Joe, but do you want to fill us in on what you thought then?
Well, obviously, Josh is having trouble with trusting Heath right now because obviously he keeps interfering with the matches, and you know he's like, well, you know, we'll go into this match and see what happens, and then right at the end, he goes for a tag on Swann. And Swann leaves him for dead in the ring. And it's like, well, who can I trust now? You know, it's like the two guys I was in there with, and can I trust either of them now? Because, you know, I was there.
You're talking about Team Impact, not Honor No More. I'm saying that Honor No More worked really well. Yeah, I thought Honor No More worked really, really well. They do. That's what I was saying.
But it's one of those, you've got Honor No More together. And Josh is really feeling like he's on an island now because
yes, exactly, yes. And what I was trying to say was in my sum up was that it felt like Honor No More were a well-oiled machine compared to the other guys, who just didn't seem to gel.
Melvins.
Yes, exactly, bunch of Melvins. Yes, they had their moments as individuals, but they didn't seem to gel as a team. Yeah, and I think that is, like you say, where Josh is sort of kind of like, oh, you know, this is not worked out too well.
Biggest dumbest Melvin.
Okay, who is the biggest dumbest Melvin? Me or
Josh Alexander?
Josh Alexander.
Thinking he could get one over on Eddie Edwards and on him more.
Yes, definitely. So Dead Punk Gage is saying that Bobby Fish is a very talented submission style wrestler and martial artist. He's not as flashy as O'Reilly or as memorable on the mic as Cole, but the guy is a solid worker. So that's good. I mean, that's what you want. And again, you know, if he comes into Impact Wrestling and he gets a bit more of an opportunity to build that character, do a bit more promo work, you know, and build himself, then that's always a good thing. And
look at Brian Myers.
Well, there you go. Maybe we'll get to see the best of Bobby Fish in the future. So I think overall, I enjoyed this match. Like I say, some good storytelling going on. But, you know, Eddie gets his pin over, obviously, Josh Alexander, the world champion. Now, where does that leave us? You know, where does that leave Josh? You know, as we get closer to their, you know, world title main event match at Bound for Glory. Yeah. I guess we're just going to have to wait and see, aren't we, lads? We are. What are your thoughts on this one in the chat? What do you guys think on this match and where it sort of kind of led? We'd certainly be interested to hear what you have to say. We then go backstage, and we've got Mickie James praising Mia Yim for a performance in the Triple Threat Revolver earlier tonight. As Mickie James embarks on her last rodeo, she challenges Yim to a match at Bound for Glory. Now, this is what I was talking about. This happened after Mickie's match and Mia's match, obviously, but Mickie didn't have the cheek injury during this promo.
No.
So this was clearly recorded way prior. This was probably recorded earlier in the day before the matches happened. But I thought it was a cool promo. There was a lot of, you know, respect shown. Mia was almost humoring Mickie, I felt, at one point. along the lines of what you honestly think that you're going to beat me, kind of, type thing. We've set the tone. We've set the Bang for Glory match for Mickie, and I'm looking forward to it. We know Mia's an amazing wrestler, so I'm well excited to see what she has to do. But like I said, I think with what was set up during the Revolver match with Kenny King eliminating her and making a big thing about it, I think we could see Kenny King getting involved in that and causing Mia to lose and Mickie to win. Just my thoughts on that. We then move on to the Knockouts World Champion Jordynne Grace versus Max the Impaler with Father James Mitchell in the Pick Your Poison match. Now, guys, this was insane. Anyway, let's go with this. So we got Max the Impalers with James Mitchell. All I got to say is what a character, and her characterization as Max the Impaler is just second to none. Like for me, the only character-driven wrestler in that would be that I'd say was like way stronger than this was the Undertaker, because she was just so like
terrifying.
Terrifying. She was terrifying. The makeup, she had like 3 layers of like clothing going on, skulls and all sorts of shit around it. I mean, Christ, I would not like to turn around a corner and face that in a dark alley. Let's put it that way. I'd be like, shit me. But anyway, so really, really interesting. And I'll tell you what, she gave Jordynne Grace probably one of the most hard-hitting matches I've ever seen her in for Impact. And I'd take my hat off to her as she eventually got the win over one of the most imposing wrestlers, non-binary, I should say. I'm not allowed to call her female, I guess. Non-binary wrestler I have ever seen. She just beat the shit out of Jordynne. And I'm not saying that Jordynne didn't, get her shit in as well, but Jesus Christ, until Jordynne managed to get that suplex on the ramp, she was having the shit kicked out of her. And, wowee, what an absolute blinder of a match. Insane. My admiration for Jordynne Grace has gone through the roof. What are your thoughts on this one, Joe?
I was so impressed with this. Jordynne Grace it's like a taste of what we're going to get between Jordynne Grace and Masha Slamovich right here. She took so much punishment for the opening 20 minutes of the match, and took that Alabama Slam onto the ramp to finally get any breathing room. And it's like Max the Impaler basically had to wear herself out before Jordynne Grace could get any offense in, which was brilliant. It was great storytelling then, just to show that Jordynne Grace will take a hell of a beating, because Masha Slamovich is intimidation, which Max the Impaler has, and overpowering people, which Masha Slamovich has as well. And it's obviously waiting to see how the hell is Jordynne Grace going to actually lift her. So when she actually hit the fall from Grace onto her and pinned her, that was incredible. To see her actually lift her up and drop her cleanly into that power driver.
Oh, it was insane. It was absolutely insane.
There's no doubt in Jordynne Grace's strength, but this was just amazing. Amazing.
I'm 100% with J-Bone on this one.
Yeah.
Sign Max the
Impaler. Yeah.
And she fits perfectly into the undead realm.
She scared me when listening to her screaming as she's throwing Jordynne Grace around.
Oh,
especially carrying that on.
Especially with James Mitchell by her side as the manager as well.
Well, I think it was Hannafin, wasn't he, saying about how Mitchell has always got that touch of finding the perfect monsters. Oh. And obviously he's found another one.
Yeah, he certainly has. And she fits perfectly, I think, into Impact. I think she fits perfectly. Definitely sign Max the Impaler. I'm down with that. I'm 100% down with that. I think they were amazing. I really do. Now, Jordynne obviously gets the win. After the bell, Grace obviously gets on the mic, and like, I just love the fact that she was like, "Wow, that hurt."
Yeah, and you could tell she meant it.
Oh God, yeah. And of course, she reveals that Master Slamovic's opponent in the Pick Your Poison for this Thursday coming is she says it's basically going to be demolished by a sadistic alley catch, and then followed by in Monsters Ball. So I think, initially, I mean, I've seen a bit of alley catch, and she's a bit crazy, but initially I was like, no, that's not quite Maxi Impaler. But then as soon as she turned around and said, but just to add the stipulation in there, it's a Monsters Ball match, I'm like, okay.
I love this match!
That's exactly what I thought, boys. That is exactly what I thought. I'm down with it. But yeah, so interesting stuff there. And I tell you, she definitely meant in the end there that was tough. But she got it in the end, and she lifted that girl. She lifted them wherever she needed to, which was just incredible. Now, we then get, obviously, we've already spoken about it, so I won't go into detail, but we then get the Raven to be inducted into the Hall of Fame promo, which is great. We then get Moose telling Uemura that Sami Callihan and Steve Maclin will find out in Barbed Massacre tonight why he's called the Wrestling God. So we get that promo. Bored of that. I'm actually getting bored of Moose's promos. I have to say, I think they're all the same. They're slow, methodical, and just pretty much says the same thing.
What the truth is, you're nothing but a mid-card donor.
Exactly. As long as I do enjoy him in the ring, and I do enjoy his character, but I don't know. You got to start trying to mix it up a little, try and do something a little bit different, because I am getting a little bit bored of his promos. We then got obviously Steve don't agree, but there you go. Sami Callihan versus Moose versus Steve Maclin in the Barbed Wire Massacre main event. Now, this match, quite frankly, was carnage from top to bottom. With Maclin opened up basically within the first minute. We get Sami paying tribute to Mick Foley's Cactus Jack attire, which I thought was really cool. We then had barbed wire just around the ropes, on doors, Nintendo controller, baseball bat, even a rolling pin at some point, which was interesting. But when it was all done, Steve Maclin hits the driver on Sami into a barbed wire covered door to get the pin to win the match. Now, long and short of it was, right, we had pretty much every single spot you could think of in this, inside, outside, like you said, barbed wire baseball bats, rolling pins, whatever you could find. Steve Maclin was opened up quite early on. Sami ended up being opened up. The only one I don't think was opened up at all. I don't remember seeing
Moose never bled. He got like barbed wire in the back and everything on his arms, but he never seemed to bleed.
No, he didn't bleed, which is a shame, because we like to see them all bleed. I love seeing Maclin. I just obviously noticed Melonhead mentioned there about Steve Maclin's face paint.
Yeah,
I love Steve Maclin when he comes out as full Punisher. I love it. It's one of my favorite characters, and again, it's sort of kind of one of the things I want to talk about with regards to Steve Maclin. To be honest, like, his character has grown so much since his debut. It's just ridiculous. I remember talking to you guys and saying Steve Maclin's the dog's bollock. He's great.
Yeah.
Like, his character is amazing. I'm down with it, and it's got better and better and better. And I was saying to someone the other day, if you look at the way Steve actually kind of projects himself, carries himself, he's got a very Steve Austin feel about him.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, I mean, Steve Austin is my favorite of all time, but I'm thinking maybe that's why I'm attracted to Steve Maclin, because I get this Steve Austin vibe off him. I think he's insanely good, and I'm really hoping he gets a massive push over the coming months. Now, I can see him eventually becoming the Impact World Champion. I really can. I'm proper into this guy. I think they should really throw a few eggs in this guy's basket. Let's put it that way.
I could see him going for the world title by hard to kill.
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine?
Kicking off, he'll be one of the first big challenges for Eddie Edwards and Josh Alexander next year. He'll be the first one in their way after the contractual rematch.
Yeah, it would be absolutely insane. And again, if we're going to start looking at introducing lockdown, lethal lockdown and stuff like that, this is the guy to be doing it with.
Yeah.
Yes.
We could turn around and say, Sami is basically the hardcore king. He does what he does better than anybody. And he will go down is one of the best when it comes to this style of hardcore match. Death match king, whatever you want to call him, he's the man. So I'm definitely, but Steve Maclin, my God, this dude can open up a can of whip ass all day long. So I'm totally sold on Steve Maclin, and I'm down with it. And I love this Punisher thing. And I have to say, guys, if you don't get his character, you need to watch The Punisher on Netflix. Go and check it out. So what were your thoughts? I mean, before we go into, obviously, this week's Impact, what were your thoughts on this match? So I'm going to go with Steve first.
Yeah, like you said, it was absolute carnage from start to finish. Sami coming out with the Foley gear was awesome. Really nice touch. And it was weird seeing him in those bright colours throughout the match. But yeah, there were some brutal spots in this match, in and outside the ring, as you knew there would be. I would have liked to have seen more, like, of all three of them together in the later stages. I mean, it felt like Moose just disappeared at one point. Yeah. And that was it, kind of thing. But yeah, you can't take away from anything in this match, from what they did, and that the finisher on the door. Yeah, mayhem for all.
Yeah, without doubt, mayhem for all. Melon, interesting you should say that, Melon, because I've thought that for quite some time. That maybe we should look at introducing the Impact Hardcore title, because I think we do.
It's something
so much.
Different.
It is. I mean, nobody else is really doing it anymore. I know that GCW is sort of kind of like hardcore pretty much all the way through. But as a kind of almost like I don't know, I suppose you call it like an attraction title. The hardcore title would be pretty mental.
I guess they do need to be careful though, because like they're finding obviously over in AEW, the more titles you bring, the more then TV time you need to find for all these titles.
I agree, but I mean, I think when you've got someone like Sami Callihan, and Steve Maclin, then you must have a place for a hardcore title. You must.
Oh yeah.
But we digress. At the end of the day, that is something that could happen. Definitely. Can I just say? Pardon me. Can I just say a quick hello to Hakeem? We haven't seen Hakeem for a while, so it's good to see you, bud. Definitely. We've had a few people join us today, which I haven't seen either before for a while. So it's nice to see you guys coming in and being part of the chat. We do appreciate it. As we always say, without you guys, help us make the show. It's all about you just as much as about us. So we're very interested in what you guys think as well. And of course, sometimes some of the things you say make us think, and we then talk about it. So, definitely get involved in anything. Now, guys, let's move on to the digital media exclusive match. Now, the reason I want to move on to this one, because I'm sure Joe likes this one. We've got Alicia Edwards versus Taya Valkyrie. Now, this was a match that was filmed at Victory Road, which is cool, so it had a nice audience there for it as well. It was a really good match. I don't know if you've seen it, Joe, but...
Yeah, I
It's a
saw it
really
this
good
morning. I
match.
saw it this afternoon. It was.
Go on. What do you think?
I was impressed. Alicia was actually put up a decent fight against Taya Valkyrie, which you'd expect her to get squashed within 5 minutes. It went on for a good 8 minutes in total, and she had a really, really good counter for almost every move Taya Valkyrie was throwing at her, especially when she tried to hit the road to Havana earlier on, where she managed to really power her way out of that, which was quite impressive. And when she took the finish at the end of the match, that was insane as well. The height Taya Valkyrie got on the finisher for this, it was insane. So Alicia Edwards, everyone thinks Alicia Edwards doesn't deserve to be on the roster. The amount of people she's put over and the amount of punishment she takes is just insane. She's one of the most hardworking women on the roster.
For me, I have to say that Lish is almost like what was his name? Heath Slater. Was it Heath that took like ridiculous amounts of losses in WWE?
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah,
right.
The losing streak.
Yeah, so Alicia's almost like that sort of kind of like losing streak character.
She's playing off of it now as well on Twitter. She's saying that I'm going to get this win one day. Yes. And even in commentary, they were playing off of it in this match, which made me smile as well. Because I'm waiting for Alicia to get this win, and I really hope it's going to be against something massive like Mickie James. Would be awesome.
Totally. Yeah, totally. I agree with that. But interesting to see with. Norris is saying, so I'm old school, hardcore, no DQ matches should only be done to finish a big feud. Really?
Yeah.
Maybe. I just kind of feel there's a place for something like that because it's more of an attraction title as opposed to something that kind of gets in the way. So, like, if you were to introduce, say, like an intercontinental title or something along those sort of lines, then I would get what you're saying when it comes to sort of kind of like less is more. But hardcore title is not something that you would have everybody getting involved in, and it doesn't affect the world title or the X Division title because it is something completely different. So, like, you know, you wouldn't, like, I don't know, like your hardcore champion wouldn't necessarily be going for the world title. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of where I look at it. More of an attraction title as opposed to a
like the digital media championship is now, basically.
Kind of, but I think they're turning the digital media title into something a bit more now.
They're starting to do quite well with it now.
Yeah, I think it's working. I think it's working really, really well. But we'll see. But this was a good match. I enjoyed it. I advise anybody who hasn't seen it to go and check it out. I think Taya looked great, and Alicia, gave a good account of herself.
Yes, so. Zach.
That would be cool. Alicia Edwards ends Mickie James' career. Definitely.
Yes, I want to see that. Yeah,
that would be an absolute shock. I'll tell you that would. That would be an.
It would break the internet. There would be so many people whinging about it, but it would be it would be worth it.
Yes, exactly. It'd be crazy. We then head into Thursday. We've got the BTI match, which is set to be Jason Hotch versus Yuya Uemura.
Oh, wow. Fuck, that's going to be good.
All three of us are impressed with Jason Hotch. We think he looks like a star, so very interesting. And we know that this young lad who has come out from the New Japan Dojo is pretty damn good as well. So I think this match is going to be great because I think they're going to get a good 10-minute match to really show off what they both can do. I think, unfortunately, Yuya's probably going to win it. Not that I don't know that, but I would imagine he will because I think they're going to want to set Yuya up for a match at Bound for Glory or inclusion in something at Bound for Glory. Although both these guys could easily be in the Koi Shot Gauntlet.
Yeah.
So they could still be on the card either way. But I think this is going to be this could potentially be a really good match. So looking forward to that. We then move straight into Impact Wrestling. And we were already talking about PCO and Vincent being a good tag team, right? We've also been talking about the fact that there was Heath and Swann and and Josh didn't really gel as a team. So maybe this is a way of getting PCO and Vincent a win over Heath and Swann to then obviously make PCO and Vincent look strong, look good as a tag team.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are your thoughts on this match, guys? I'm going to go with Joe on this one.
it might be one of the if they don't win this, PCO if PCO and Vincent don't win this, then Eddie Edwards is going to boot them out. So I think they're going to win, and like it's going to play into like what Steve was talking about earlier. It's going to be there's no cohesive unit against Eddie Edwards. It's almost like every man for themselves, or that's the mindset that's being put across. Everyone's too focused on themselves to take out on Uemura. So it's going to be all on Josh Alexander's lap again. So it's going to if Rich Swann and Heath lose, it's going to stack all the odds against Josh Alexander even more. So he's probably going to walk out bound for glory, the victor, begrudgingly for me, as a fan of Eddie Edwards. But it's going to make him look even better winning with the more of the odds are stacked against him.
Yeah, totally. I think you're right, but I definitely think that we're going to look at. Well, I definitely think we're going to get PCO and Vincent win here. I think because I think they started to gel really well, and I think they're going to want to move them forward as a potential tag team now in their tag team division of Impact. Definitely a thought. Hakeem, if you go back through the show later, once obviously we go, we have a good chat about Bobby Fish and our thoughts on that. It's but yeah. We're sorry, buddy, but you missed that one. We then have Delirious again versus Black Taurus. Now, as soon as I saw this one, I was like, "Wow, that's going to be insanely good."
Oh, baby!
Yeah, definitely, that is going to be a good match. I'm going to go on Steve. Steve, Delirious versus Black Taurus. Give me your thoughts, quick thoughts.
Yep, my reaction was the same as yours. I was like, "Yep, that's possible match of the night there." Going to see more of Delirious, which is good. But I think the run Taurus is on and not having him pinned in the triple threat, I think there's something big for him lined up.
Yes, I think that too. I totally agree, and I think this is a way of getting another good singles win for Taurus under his belt. Very excited for this one. I just think it's going to be really good. Again, super fast, loads of athleticism. It's going to be hard hitting. It's going to be great. I can't wait. And you never know. We might see a bit more character from Delirious as well. You don't know. Possibly. So we then move on, and we've got Bullet Club. Obviously, it looks like it's a tag team heavy show tonight. So we've got Bullet Club, Ace and Bay with Juice in the corner versus Trey and Laredo Kid. Now, I think Ace and Bay are going to get the win here because I think it's they need to start winning. They need to start winning. So I think that's going to happen here. And again, the Trey and Laredo Kid is almost sort of kind of like a couple of X Division guys thrown together as a tag team, right?
Yeah.
So for me, this is a way of forwarding Bullet Club, getting them a win, making them more credible. What do you think, Joe? What do you think?
Yeah, it's clearly a match to help give ASOS and Chris Bay some more momentum and really show off what they can do as a team. Like you said, Trey and Laredo, they've teamed together in the past a few times, but they are two singles competitors in the X Division. Trey Miguel hasn't got much intention of going for the tag team titles at the moment. His intention is the X Division title in the end of the day. So it's all put on a hell of a match, and let's show everyone what all four of these guys can do. But Chris Bay and Ace Austin are going to walk out the victors.
Okay, I think we, I think we're both on. Well, I think we're all on the same page with this one. So interesting stuff there. So we then have, this is an interesting one here too. We've got like Honor No More in ring victory celebration. So this is going to be an interesting one because obviously, as we all know, in-ring celebrations never go well. So I think we're going to see, obviously, Josh coming out to the ring. We're possibly going to see Heath coming out. And I think we're just going to end up with a nice in-ring brawl. I think that's what we're gonna get on that one. But I don't know. What do you think, Steve? What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. It's the same as like a contract signing, isn't it? You're just waiting for everything to go to chaos, and Josh will be out there. Heath probably, Swann, You know, so yeah, it's just going to end in a brawl.
I think so. It's going to be an all-out brawl. I think we're going to get loads of stop being a bunch of Melvins from Honor No More's Tavern, and I don't know. I think it's going to be crazy, and we could potentially then see the Impact Boys, Josh, getting one over. Obviously on Eddie, possibly at this point, to then forward the storyline a little bit, or maybe we could see Honor and More getting another one over on Eddie and his buddies, to further set up this sort of kind of like, oh, for God's sake, it's not going well for Josh right now. You just don't know, do you? So be interesting to see where that one goes. We've also got Crazy Steve versus Brian Myers for the DM, and it's a DMC title match. So we're getting another title match with a different wrestler. So it's nice to see, obviously, Digital Media Championship now getting a little bit more steam. Brian Myers is definitely putting a little bit more credibility on this title, which is good to see. Again, against a member of the K. So we're getting Taurus, we're getting Crazy Steve tonight. So, yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting one. Obviously, I'm pretty sure Brian's going to retain. As much as I'd love to see Crazy Steve take the title off him, I think Brian's gone through, a lot of a story here to then just, a ladder match and all the rest of it to then suddenly lose the following week on Impact in a normal match. I'd be surprised. Very surprised. I mean, what do you think on this one, Joe?
I'm looking forward to it. But Brian Myers, I saw his response on Twitter when he found out about this match. He wasn't particularly happy. But I think this is going to be a good match. Yeah, I think we might even see Rupinder try and get some revenge on Brian Myers for taking his leg to the ladder. So if Crazy Steve's going to win, it might be due to interference from Rupinder Gujar, which would be interesting too. It would add a story to this title, another story to this title.
I think I mean, that's interesting you say that, Joe, because, that's the only way I see Brian losing, if he loses his title to Steve because Rupinder Gujar gets involved.
Yeah.
That is the only way I can see it happening, because that then, like you say, that forwards the storyline between Brian and Gujar, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's what I see there. What do you guys think in the chat? Do you think that Myers is going to lose to Steve, or do you think that it's a foregone conclusion? Do we think that Gujar is going to get involved? Let's know. Let's know what you think. Now, guys, I think obviously we found out at Victory Road that Masha Slamovich is going to be facing Ali Catch in Monsters Ball. So I think that's going to headline, obviously, the show. We're going to get a Monsters Ball match with these guys. But I'll tell you what, before we talk about that match, and we obviously talking about balls, let's have a little word from our sponsor.
I'm here to tell you people about Manscaped. See, when you're a card-carrying member of the Peanut Club, presentation is everything. In my opinion, with a clean shave, you can turn that cocktail frank into bun length. That's right, folks. Kiss your Vienna sausage goodbye and upgrade your grooming habits with Manscaped. And guess what, folks? We got a special deal for the TNI fam. Get 20% off and free shipping when you use our promo code TNI at manscaped.com. That's right, folks. 20% off and free shipping when you use our promo code TNI at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
Did you like how I tied that into Monsters Ball? There, did you like that?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely loved it. Anyway, so Monsters Ball, guys. Monsters Ball. I think this is going to be insanely good. A really, really good match, I think. Really good matchup this is going to be. Again, I think this is going to be just as hard-hitting as what we saw at Victory Road with Max and Jordynne. This is not going to be an easy match for Masha. Yeah, so that pretty much rounds up this week's show. Not only did we get 2 advertisements in there for Manscaped, but and we tied them in really well. But we managed to obviously get in there all the news. We managed to get in there a review for Victory Road, and not only that, we managed to get through this week on Impact as well. So loads of stuff to talk about. And we've had some good stuff coming in from the chat as well today, which is really good. But guys, listen, please don't forget to head over to the TNI Patreon for exclusive extra content when you sign up. And also make sure you watch tomorrow night's TNI flagship show, Impact Live, after the Impact Live review, directly after the show has aired. And of course, it's available on Twitch and YouTube. Also, all TNI shows are available for all of you Listen on the Go fans as audio only via SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio. Basically, wherever you listen to your favorite shows, you can find TNI. Where can we find you guys on the social? I mean, let's go with you, Joe. Where can we find you, bud?
You can follow me on Twitter at JoeKEmptySpace. You can jump onto Facebook or onto Twitter, look for #EmptySpace, #Into the Void, or #Daily Giggle if you wish to tickle your taste buds and your sense of humour. But approach with an open mind and you just might keep your sanity.
What about you, Steve? Where can we find you, bub?
You can find me only over on the Twitter now at SimplySteve311 for everything Impact Wrestling related. So hop over there and that's where you'll find me.
Fantastic. And if you want to find out a little bit more about the Bison, then please head over to your Twitter accounts and give me an ad at LordBison45. Quickly approaching 1,900 followers right now, so keep them coming, guys. And of course, don't forget to head over to the Don't forget to head over to the Total Nonstop Impact Twitter as well at We Talk Impact. Definitely worth giving us a follow, I guess. I'd say giving them a follow, giving us a follow. That would be absolutely fantastic. Please, guys, listen. Please take the time to help us out moving up the rankings on YouTube by giving us a thumbs up. And if you're new to us and you like what you've seen or what you've heard today, please consider clicking that subscribe button. And don't forget to give that bell a tickle, a squeeze, or a smash to never miss any of the great content coming out every single week from TNI UK and, of course, the US teams. There's loads of stuff, guys. And just a little hint, I've got a nice interview coming out for you guys next week. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. A bit of Bison Talks Impact from the TNI UK team. Check that one out. That's gotta be cool. I'm not going to tell you who it is. I'm not going to tell you who it is. That's a secret.
You guys swing?
Yeah.
It would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Possibly. You never know. Anyway, don't forget, if you want to support TNI, head over to the Spreadshirt store or, of course, prowrestlingtees.com/total non-stop impact. Now, guys, with all of that said, I've been your host, Bison, and I have been joined today by the Joker and, of course, Simply Steve. And this has been episode 102 of Impacted. Take care, everyone.
Take care, guys.
We're Bison! We are Impacted! We're Bison! We're ready to get up! We want to